Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode, we met with Yavara. We actually met with her. Ximena, she's seen her so many times in those flashbacks, in those memories. But we got to see she's still here. Her soul has been trapped in this prison, and we had a pretty good chat with her. Now, it's time to move forwards. It's time to go and find Thaos. However, we are going to clear out this area. Of course we are. Excuse me, come here. The pillar tugs at your essence. A pulse from the world itself moves through it. Indeed. Indeed. Also, anything...
And what does the flame reveal?
The flame might reveal hidden stuff. Durance. Anything... Yeah, this door opens, so I suspect we need to head down there. And then down the big stairs. Let's... So there's an animat or whatever just over yonder, so let's head this way and around.
I'll see what I can find.
We'll go slowly just in case there are traps. Hello? Okay, there's one there. Let's run in.
I'm ready.
My dear? Okay. Let's head in.
That's not very helpful.
Cause Pelagina's having a moment.
This thing isn't doing the job.
Hey, you say that, but we're all fine. We're all good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and quiet.
Okay, oh. Don't mind if I do. Just a random old rapier, why not? The pillar tugs at your essence, a pulse from the world itself moves through it. Okay. They all say the same thing, it seems.
There. What did I tell you?
Hello? Oh, is this, we've seen these before. Down here. Okay, so I think this is another Healy thing. And let's go.
That's it!
That looked like it hurt.
And then, Sagani,
Ready,
would you
Watcher.
like to help out your boy there?
That's
And then, yep.
And that's how it's done.
That's right, everyone. Itumark, would you like to go after him, please? And Sagani, again, just keep helping the boy. And
I need
one
something
last
stronger.
one. There we go. Fabulous. And you. You're all coming with me. Okay.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Anything. Yeah, let's all get healed up. There we go. And
This
Ximena,
calls
if you
for a
would be
subtle
so
touch.
kind.
There. What did I tell you?
Yeah, the animat must have ran over. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, that is this map cleared, so let's head down. Down into the deep. Oh! Well, hello there.
I'm on the
If you
trail.
wants to chat, we will. Don't worry, buddy, we
So-
will.
It's true. The gods are a sham that people have followed for thousands of years.
Aloth also wants a chat. Okay. Yeah, we haven't used up any campfires. Again, I'm trying to I'm trying to keep this bonus as long as I possibly can. So yes, we'll go with the deer first.
Well, doesn't that just beat all? Here I was, wondering all this time whether all these terrible things were people's fault or the gods. Turns out they might be the same thing. Wonder how things would have gone different 15 years ago if the raid Sarens had been told their god was made in some forge or kiln someplace. Would we still have gone to war?
People were starving. They'd have rebelled sooner or later. It was their god who made them believe they were right. I doubt they'd have fought if they knew he was fallible. No point in wondering about what we'll never know. Ooh, I'm not drawn to number 1 because Ximena doesn't know if people were starving. I don't think she has the context. She really doesn't know much about this war. I can see number 2 because people believed, oh my god, a god literally has come through and possessed a farmer and is saying, hey, everyone, it's me, Aethus, come get behind me, and everyone did. If it was just a farmer, if it were just Charlie being like, hey, I'm totally Aethus, everyone would have gone, Charlie, you're crazy. Sir, you've gone a bit insane. Like, no, of course we're not going to follow you into a war. It was only because he was possessed by a god. So yeah, if that hadn't have happened, if they had some context behind that, then they probably wouldn't have, rallied behind him. It was their god who made them believe they were right. I doubt they'd have fought if they knew he was fallible.
I could see the rebellion still happening, but I don't know that they would have invaded.
He looks down at the ground, drumming his fingers against his side restlessly. When he speaks again, it seems half to himself.
I don't know. When Woden left for war, we, had a fight. As brothers will.
His gaze remains low, distance. Adir's throat catches. He takes a slow breath. What about?
About him going off to war. He was set on it. But my parents warned him. They said you get a new country with every trip across the border, but your god, you only get the one.
Adir looks up at you.
Me? I didn't know who was right. All I knew was I didn't want him to go. It's the same for families as it is for gods. You only get the one.
Adir bites his lower lip.
I said every vicious thing I could think of, trying to change his mind. He brushed it off. Just got me madder, of course, him being so calm. He said I should come with him, but he'd understand if I didn't want to. I told him he'd better be able to face his god one day and answer for what he'd done. He said he'd keep that in mind. And then, he was gone. By the time I'd cooled off, months had passed. One morning it dawns on me that my brother always knew better than me. If he was so sure of what he was doing, then I should be there with him. I packed my things and was on the road that same morning. Of course, what I didn't know then was he'd already changed his mind. By that time, he was dead on that field.
Do you think he went to Widewind because of what you said to him? So if you'd have left with him, you'd have known why he changed his mind. Let's be on our way. Oh. Yeah, do you think, is that where you're coming from with all of this? Do you think he went to Widewind because of what you had said to him?
Crossed my mind. You live in a place like Gilded Vale. You don't have a whole lot else to do other than think about things you don't want to think about. I hope that wasn't it. I hope he went there because it's what he thought was right. But it seems I'm not meant to know.
So, if you'd left with him, you'd have known why he changed his mind.
If I'd have left with him, we'd both be dead, so I don't know why I bother thinking about it. He asked me to trust him the day he left. Said if I went with him, he'd make sure we were on the right path. And he deserved that. He deserved that trust from me.
He scrapes the top of his fingernails back and forth softly across his jawline.
Raid Saris is a long way to walk on your own. think I'd have liked to have been there with him on that journey. Even knowing how it ended.
He squints, his eyes searching. Let's be on our way.
Still one more mess we gotta straighten out. Come on, then. I still owe you one.
Oh, darling. Oh, darling.
We've been lied to. Our whole lives, and many lives before that. And it's led us to put our faith in a pantheon of gods that never deserved it in the first place.
Aloth's face is twisted with fury and despair. People need something to believe in. The gods, however they came to be, have served that purpose. Thaos is wrong. Most people are fundamentally decent. Knowing the truth can only make them better. What difference does it make? People will be what they are, whether or not there are gods to believe in. It's an outrage. There's no excuse for misleading people like this. Passionate. The Ingwithans were right. People are fools and can't be trusted without some kind of authority looming over them. Cruel. Ooh, I mean, this does kind of play into what I was saying before. There are some people who genuinely believe that without the promise of heaven or some kind of afterlife, some kind of eternal punishment or reward, that, you know, anyone who doesn't believe, oh yeah, they're going to be raping, they're going to be murdering, they're going to be committing crimes, which just kind of implies, well, that implies that you would be doing those things if you weren't worried about being punished or rewarded. Like, there are some people who need religion to keep themselves in check, because otherwise they would be out there doing horrific things. I do believe those people are in the minority, but there are some people that are like that. I don't think... Funnily enough, I'm actually quite drawn to this one. I very rarely pick Stoic for Ximena. But as I said, I don't think she is all that shocked. Because it doesn't impact her. This reveal that the gods aren't real, it doesn't impact her. She will do the same today as she did yesterday, as she does tomorrow. Nothing about her life has changed with this knowledge. So I do think she would be like, what difference does it make? I don't see the importance of this. This plays into what I was saying before, but I don't think this is something that Ximena would think. And most people are fundamentally decent, are they? After all of the shit that Ximena's pulled. After all of the lives that Ximena has ruined. I don't think she'd be passionate. You know, it's an outrage. And I don't... Oh, people are fools and can't be trusted. Like, yeah, I think she'd be indifferent as to all of this. Her life really hasn't been changed by this knowledge. What difference does it make? People will be what they are, whether or not there are gods to believe in.
I'm surprised to hear you say this. It seems that much harm comes from imposing authority where perhaps none is needed. We've seen the atrocities that members of the Leaden Key have committed without even understanding why or for whom they act.
His head jerks back.
For once, the half-souled elf is right. To live in ignorance is to allow the gods to have their way with us.
I've also been thinking.
There won't be much left of Thaos by the time you're done with him, if I know how you operate. That will leave the Leaden Key headless. Perhaps it's best it stays that way.
I agree. No, someone should fill that role. Do what you think is right. This organization has been a thorn in our side. Yeah, absolutely. Aloth, the fact that you're coming to me with this indicates that you maybe would be interested in filling that position. No. Aloth. I'm giving you a chance here. Yeah, Ximena isn't gonna encourage any of this. This organization has been a thorn in our side since we arrived in this country. Balls to it. I agree.
Then let's face Thaos. When this is all over, I'll make sure that no one is able to commit his abuses again.
Aloth nods once. Okay, there we go. Let's...
Hey there.
Everyone together. Let's head down. Ooh, hello. Interesting. Again, a new screen for us. Oh, I do not like how dark it is. Search for Thaos.
Anyone here in Echo?
Maybe? What in the hell? Don't mind if I do. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hello? Oh, shit.
Full of surprises, aren't you?
Look at the size of this place.
We light our own path now, Watcher.
Can you do that again? I had something in my eye. Missed most of it.
Dear, that's funny. But also, I swear down he said that in a flirt. Ooh, full of surprises. Like, I swear down he said that in a flirty manner.
Hey there.
I swear down. This is where everyone says, no, Callista, it is...
Sure.
It is literally just your imagination.
Keeping an eye out.
You're imagining it, darling. Hush. Let me live in my delusions. Oh, again, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I will say, I like the lack of music. It's just this kind of odd whispering. I like that for this area. Oh, what the f... What the shit is that? What the shit is that? That's not right.
Bullseye.
Settle!
That's not very helpful.
Oh!
Not even slowing it down!
Oh. No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. Whatever those things were. Just... Why?
Isn't
Why
this
is there
something?
Okay, thank you. Why is there a dragon with a collar on it? What the hell is this? We've got 2 dragons with collars on them. And apparently we can't... apparently we can't examine that. Okay. Okay, here's another light doodad. Oh, hello. Okay. Girl, you might want to start moving back. Oh, shit. Hi.
Don't even
Group up. Okay, there we go. You start going on that. You, buddy. Now is time. Now is the time to start breaking out the spells. Okay. Buddy, do you maybe want to help us out, please? That would be grand.
Yes.
And, are you... Buddy.
Good shot, please. Bullseye.
I have no... Okay, you're there. Okay, there we go. And then let's... There we go. Okie doke. Okay. Can we... Ooh,
Sure.
Excuse me, can we... Chalky bits of bone break away between your fingers. There
Hey
we
there.
Go. Okay, okay. And we just keep moving forwards. We
And
keep
what
moving
does the
forwards.
flame reveal?
Destroying the corpses of those long dead as we go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. Hello. Hi. The shadows in the cavern suddenly lengthen and swallow you. When your vision adjusts to the darkness, you find yourself in the midst of what must be another vision. You are surrounded by mist. The ground feels springy under your feet. You imagine that as soon as you take a step, the soil behind you will erase all trace of your passage. As if on cue, the mist before you clear just enough for you to take a couple steps forward. You do, and the fog closes behind you. You continue for several minutes in this manner, one step at a time, never seeing more than the ground right in front of you. Eventually, rays of light cut through the haze, and you find yourself facing a canyon wall. Pelagina's head violently snaps to one side, her eyes tracking some unseen threat. She puts her hand to the side of her face where two of her feathers have been cut short near the base. Tufts of down float in the air. Something whizzes past you. Just as you turn, you catch another whir of movement. Out of the mist flits a shape small and round. You think you see another, and another. They tickle the corners of your vision. You turn back to the canyon wall. The sun shifts along its path, and what looked like smooth rock face is the hollow of a cave. A figure steps out, its features shifting and changing before your eyes. The figure transforms from male to female from Orlan to Amawa, its bones lengthening and its fur receding into its flesh. The only detail that remains constant is the smooth, eyeless face. The whizzing, rushing shapes from the mist converge on the figure, and as they form a spinning cloud, you realize that they are eyes.
You understand the value of a mystery watcher, a buried scroll, a hidden truth. These are my ways. You unravel a thread, watcher, one you have lost and discovered over generations, and following it to its end has only brought you back to the beginning.
The eyes track you even as they circle the god. What are you talking about? Speak plainly. Have I been here before? Well, I mean, we have. We just weren't Ximena at the time. And speak plainly, this is Whale. Whale doesn't know how to speak plainly. What are you talking about? Whale giggles, a strangely modulated sound that rises and falls as the god shifts from one form to the next. You seek and search while your foe obscures, and even your quest for answers to your past has only led you to another mystery, and one grander still. I'm here to stop Boudica from tipping the balance of power. My goal now is to see to the souls Thaos has trapped. These mysteries don't matter to me. I just want to keep my own soul from unraveling rational. Another riddling god, fantastic. No, again, at the end of the day, this is why Ximena is doing this. She's trying to save her own skin. These mysteries don't matter to me. I just want to keep my own soul from unraveling. Yet, as you've sought this goal, your foes have pursued another.
A nebula of souls, blind and brimming with potential. The answer to Boudica's question and the beginning of yours. What would you do with them?
Changing from elf to folk, Whale raises its darkening hands to the swarm of eyes. Thunder clouds from overhead casting shadows of movement across the canyon. Barath wants them returned to the cycle. According to Hylia, it's possible to restore them to the Hollowborn. I learned from Gallowayne, Magron, and Abaddon that I can use them to fortify other souls in the Deerwood. Rimmergrand, Ondra, and Skane would have me dissolve them. I take it, yeah, I want it. You're not going to have come to me for no reason. I take it you've got something in mind. The clouds break and the torrent of rain washes Whale's features clean. His blank face molds itself again, taking on the shape of something you've never seen before. Do not consign the souls to the fate of some god's choosing. You have found them. Now scatter them across existence, their destination known to neither god nor mortal. Let them be lost again, new answers to new riddles. Behind him, the sun downpour has carved new caves in the canyon. What end would that serve but what would happen to the souls? Intellect 17, you say I shouldn't let a god decide their fate, but it seems you're asking me to do just that. Yeah. You say I shouldn't let a god decide their fate, but it seems you're asking me to do just that.
In a way. But something must be done, and hurling them from the machinery of other schemes is the truest course of action.
What end would that serve?
No end, Watcher. That is the purpose.
But what would happen to the souls?
None know. They could end up anywhere in the realms of gods or mortals, whole or divided. Discovering them again and charting their course through the ether will be a new mystery.
Farewell, Whale.
That is a word for endings, and this is but a crossroads. Even I do not know what you would choose.
The shifting face laughs. Shadows from the new caves melt and spread across the landscape, covering you in darkness. When the light returns, the vision is gone. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. And then, ooh, hello. A lone segment of the bridge rises over the ruins of an ancient city. It looks stable enough, but the wide gap leaves little room for error. I mean, what? So I did... It... There could be something amazing over there. There could be something amazing. That's my one thing. Yeah, we all have the same. Well, except for you. You have something different. I can't help myself. Jump to the freestanding segment. Ooh. Sagani gets a running start and leaps over the gap. However, Sagani cries out upon landing and collapses on the other side in a tangle of limbs. Oh god, I'm sorry, darling. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's literally just... Ooh. Okay. I don't think that was worth it. I don't think that... Do you have anything that removes, those afflictions? Let me just have a look through, just in case you do. Well, to be fair, a lot of these are combat only. Hands in flame. Yeah, I don't think... I get the feeling you aren't going to have anything that would remove whatchamacallits. Yeah, no, I don't think you do. Do we have any... Again, I don't necessarily want to camp. I will if I have to. I will if I have to, but... Yeah, that's revival. What does that do? No, that's just immunity. Okay. Yeah, I think I had hoped. Oh, that's annoying. That's annoying. If we had just left it be, then you wouldn't be injured. Oh well. The edge of the bridge is dark against the glowing city below. A draft rises from the depths, cool against your skin. We will go to the other side. Sagani misjudges the distance and falls short. Sagani manages to grab the jutting lip of the bridge, legs dangling over empty space. With a painful gasp, Sagani climbs to safety. What do you have? 25 reflex, minus 15 deflection. Okay, I'm
Hey
gonna
there.
see how long we can go for. Because like I said, that celestial suite bonus is really good. Hello. You're right, lads. Okay. Okay, let's go. Sagani,
I'm here.
there's one right behind you, so Itamok, if you could possibly help him up on the ground. What in the hell is this? Oh, that's what you are. Hi. Hi there. Okay.
What?
Buddy, you get on that. You. Why did you move like so? Okay, go.
Bullseye.
And buddy,
Got an enemy after this one.
okie doke. And a yoink. Oh, hello.
Sure.
Let's all move over here. Court. Let's see what we've got down here.
They'll never know I'm here.
Let's just see what else. Yeah, all of these. What happened to them? What happened to all of these individuals? It almost looks not the Beerwick. The Beerwick didn't turn people to ash, but the thing. The thing we experienced afterwards, I'm pretty sure that did. Concerning. That is deeply concerning. And don't mind if I do. Anything else? Anything, anyone else? That's a dead end. Let's see. Any... Again, am I stalling for time so that I don't have to end this soon? Maybe.
Bullseye.
Maybe I am.
Even slowing it down.
Everyone. You two on that one.
And that's how it's done.
And good night. Good night to you, my
Be
dears.
cautious. Be constant.
And I think it might just be you. Yes, come along, Timmy. Come along, my fish son. I think that's it. I think that's it. Okay. Oh, this does... I'm feeling things. I'm feeling so many things. Oh, what in the... This is like the machine. Okay, so this is... Yeah, we're seeing the the remains of something that I'm having a moment. I do apologize. But yeah, what happened here? It was like what happened at the beginning of the game. We're seeing the after effects of it all. This is it. This is it, isn't it? Oh my god. This isn't right. This isn't right. I'm very tempted. The +2 resolve, +2 constitution, +2 might. I think that is more beneficial for all of us than it is to have these removed from Sagani. So I think, I'm very sorry, darling, but I think you're gonna have to deal with that. Just for the time being.
Are you ready to take the oath? To spread the word of the gods to the lost and heathen?
Hello. I seem to remember hearing that.
I am trusting you to remain loyal to the gods in this. If you do not, you will have greater powers than me to answer to. But you will answer to me as well.
Yeah, these are all things we heard him say before in the memories. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I wouldn't ask this were there any other choice.
Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? I think you do whatever you see as fit. See as the best possible solution.
This is a missionary, same as I was. Taught the wrong things as I was.
Oh, Yavara. Oh, I am sorry.
Osionis. They have held off many would-be invaders.
And then you were kidnapped there. You were taken hostage.
You are ready to give a confession?
I am ready to hear one from you.
Well, hopefully we can hear our own confession from him. Memories of the Ancients. What's that? We literally have nothing. This is it. This is it. Dear God. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. The statue is warm to the touch. Well, that's not normal. Oh. You've come to a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with ardra and trimmed with copper. At the far end, a great pillar of ardra pierces the floor from below like a ragged spike, its shimmering texture giving the illusion of boundless depth. Your thoughts are yours, and not yours, and they are all questions. This is from the beginning of the game. At the base of the pillar stands Thaos, a look of concern on his face as he notes your approach. You have something you want to ask him. One question above all others, spinning madly in your mind, but you don't dare ask it yet. You need some admission from him first, some hint of the veracity of your suspicions.
You are far from your post, Inquisitor. What brings you here?
Your mind races, weighing different angles of approach, your emotions barely in track. What is this place?
We are in a sanctum holy to Utica. There are others like it in service to the other gods. I come here often to pray for her counsel, and in this space I may be assured that she hears me.
That machine behind you, what does it do?
It has many uses, but its purpose is to bring structure to the chaos that surrounds it.
All these statues, who are they of?
They are monuments to Utica's greatest servants among my people. I hope to join them myself one day. But my work is not yet complete.
Was the entire Inquisition based on a lie?
The Inquisition was based on the need to cut the flesh from a rotting wound.
Was Yavara telling the truth?
That woman sought only to destroy the foundations of peace and civility that my people sacrificed everything to build.
You are shaking now, having lost all patience for tact. No more evasions. You have to know everything you believed, everything you have done for the gods. Did you lie to me when you said I was right to leave my family behind for the gods? Thaos says nothing. Are there no gods?
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked? Something men can turn to in their darkest moments when their days seem only like bridges from one tragedy to the next. Our gods are all these things.
Thaos's face remains a mask of impassivity. With Thaos's every word, you find yourself losing control of a boiling cauldron of rage and doubt and fear and hopelessness until you can take it no more. Are there no gods?
We are in a sacred place within earshot of the gods themselves. This is not the time. You've been through much these past few months.
With maddening calm, Thaos puts an index finger to his lips.
You will return home and you will rest. When you feel you have recovered, you may rejoin us at the trials. The Inquisition is far from over, and I will have need of you. There are many who continue to spread the lies of the apostate. The Inquisition will not end until we have pronounced judgment on all of them.
His eyes linger on you, and there is no mistaking the threat behind it. And your rage shrinks at the image of an iron wheel in your mind, monolithic and caked with the dried blood of thousands. You do not ask your question again.
How did you find it?
I'm not here to... No. Ximena is a talker. I didn't. It was Lady Webb.
Another in a string of acts of petty defiance. For all her knowledge, she always preferred spite over reason.
She loved you. It was reason that guided her hand in this. You put her out of her misery. We have nothing more to say to each other. She loved you.
Then she should have obeyed. I ask one thing of all my followers. She was incapable. A waste of rare talent and intellect.
Blind obedience is a lot to ask of someone with a mind of their own. Her talent and intellect were too great for her to live as your servant. Blind obedience is a lot to ask of someone with a mind of their own.
What of your cohorts, then? They have followed you to their deaths. Is it loyalty that brings them here? Or is it, as my agents suggest, that they have no direction of their own? You worshipped Aethys, did you not?
Thaos regards Adia.
Your spies are good. What gave me away? The cape?
Yet when your god needed you the most, you chose your country.
Adia frowns, irritated.
We were being invaded. Not by anyone who was acting like a god.
Then I should think your hometown gave you a hero's welcome when you returned.
Thaos gives a thin, patronizing smile.
Well, they made cake. And I think you can expect folks to get jumpy when the gods aren't there to reassure them. Maybe if they weren't all too busy trying to kill each other.
Adia smiles at this.
The gods argue over how best to prevent Kith society from destroying itself. These disruptions would not be necessary were mortal instinct not so diseased.
Durant stares at Thaos with a beast snarl. Thaos watches him calmly.
You built a weapon that delivered exactly as promised.
I served my goddess as you did yours.
Yet the other builders were slain. 11 of a dozen. Why not you? Were you somehow different? Redeemable in your god's sight?
Whatever desire I had to be redeemed in her eyes was weakness, purged by the Watcher's sight.
Or was it merely that your goddess wanted you dead as well, and your delusions of importance prevented you from seeing the obvious?
A whore's beguiling charms, nothing more. But the spell's broke now, Thaos. The trial's over. I know friend from foe, and I've come here now to see a foe repaid.
You were able to destroy a god because another god wished it. Without her hand to guide you, you could not strike at a god any more than you could strike the sky. You are impotent, and not just from the pox.
Oh, damn.
I understand your Duke's bells gave you a mission.
Thaos' sudden attention causes Pallegina's feathers to ruffle.
Their orders do not absolve me of my greater responsibility to the safety and well-being of the Republics.
Pallegina lifts her head defiantly. You might want to skip over this one, Thaos. Don't want to pick a fight you can't win.
Yet you disobeyed. Something you already have a reputation for. They will know, of course. If it had been for a worthy cause, they might have forgiven you. But I don't see them pursuing animancy after seeing what it's done here. They trusted you, and you disappointed, as you always have. And you will again be disowned.
The parents scold, but the children are safe. Whether animancy research continues in the Republics or not, they will survive. For now, that's enough. In any case, I wouldn't be so smug about my fate, Thaos. I imagine Woodica responds to disappointment much more severely than even my dukes.
She takes a long step forward, a sinister smile spreading across her face.
State your name and purpose, young acolyte.
At the sight of Aloth, Thaos' mouth twitches derisively.
My name belonged to the gods and my hand to their service. No more.
Aloth's eyes darken.
You serve none but yourself. Without contact with your order, you can have no higher purpose. Only the base concerns of the flesh. You have cast yourself from our ranks.
And I should have done it years before. I'd rather live in uncertainty than servitude.
And that uncertainty would lead you where it leads everyone. To doubt, to emptiness, to the many cruelties inspired by disbelief. You will have to forgive your Grandmaster for remaining skeptical of his initiate's choices. You are far from home, dwarf.
Thaos looks down at Sagani.
I knew my hunt would send me a long way from Masuk. It was a challenge I was glad to undertake for my village.
Sagani raises her chin.
A journey, then? It must be of some import to take you so far and to last so long.
What's important is that I'll return soon. And when I do, I'll spend my time where it matters.
Sagani flinches.
So it was worth it, then, to tell a dying beast of things it neither understood nor had memory of.
Thaos raises his eyebrows in mock surprise.
You are here because you are lost. The gods cannot reach everyone, I'm afraid. May you fare better in your next lives.
Thaos looks over your company, each one in turn, and then he directs his gaze at you.
I gather you have had your soul awakened. Why else would you shadow my footsteps like some stray mongrel? You think I have something to offer you, but our business was concluded long ago.
What do you know of our business? Our business will conclude when you have told me all I wish to know, aggressive. I lived my life by the lies you told. You owe me the truth, diplomatic. One of us is going to die in this room. You may as well admit your lie to me before that rational attack. I'm also drawn to this. It's rational, but I don't think Ximena would say this. I lived my life by the lies you told. You owe me the truth.
I answered your questions once. That your soul is not fit to accept the answers is of little concern to me. I lied to no one. Not to you, not to anyone. The gods are real. They are everything we need them to be, and the world is better for it.
You denied a generation its place in the world. You're saying this somehow improves things. You've lied to everyone, yourself most of all. You convinced me once to supplant my own family with phantom gods. The gods were family to neither of us. We have nothing more to say to each other. You have lied to everyone. Yourself most of all.
I have no illusions about the costs involved. But what your brief lifespan obscures is that it is what must be done.
I like this. Because Ximena lies to everyone. But she's under no illusions as to what she is. She's under no illusions as to what she has done. Like, she knows she's a liar. And I like that. I like that.
The heart of this country has skipped a beat. Nothing more. I have done far worse. I plunged the peaceful kingdom of Thaos into civil war. I slew the monarch of Desantio, whose people never knew hardship under his rule, and replaced him with a cruel despot who brought them to ruin. When plague arrived at the great city of Arborensis, I saw to it that the cure did not. They piled their dead outside the city in heaps that rose above their walls.
Nothing could justify these atrocities. This is supposed to diminish the damage you've done here. I don't see how these others matters concerning none of these places still. Well, it doesn't matter that these places don't exist. He still did them. And it actually was him. It's not a case of like, oh, I did this in another life and I have no memory of it. Like, no. He remembers each time. It's always Thaos. The fact that these places don't exist is irrelevant. He did them. This is supposed to diminish the damage you've done here.
It is to show the proper perspective. There was a time, back when your soul was still a shapeless mist, when the world believed only in false gods. Thousands of them. Gods that told them to take slaves. Gods that told them to make war upon their neighbors and devour the slain. Gods that told them to burn their children alive and cover themselves in the ashes as a sign of their faith.
Okay, but people still do horrific shit like this. And they believe in Wodica, and Galawain, and Andra, and Magran, and all the others in the band. They still take slaves, they still make war upon their neighbours and devour the slain, they still burn their children alive and cover themselves in the ashes. Like, all of these things still happen, to some degree. So, but you've done all this for nothing, dickhead.
But all that changed when they learned of the true gods. Our gods. All those misshapen, bestial instincts melted beneath the radiance of our god's majesty. You could see it in their eyes. That dull emptiness replaced with the glimmer of a kindled spark.
The first place we found had a hanging tree full of women and animancers because they had failed the local lord. The local lord killed his wife because she gave birth to a hollowborn, it seemed. He was going crazy. How is that any better? And he believed, like, he was brought back from the dead by one of the gods. His belief was sincere, and he was doing incredibly fucked up shit along the lines of your, taking slaves, devouring the dead, ba. Dude, it's all still happening. It's all still happening. You've just tricked yourself into thinking that it isn't. Teaching them there were no gods would have achieved the same purpose, the spark of false hope. You led them to overcome the nature. That never happened. We have nothing more to say. The spark of false hope?
There is no false hope. Only hope for things that never come. Have you imagined this existence? The one the apostate would have created. We are not all so virtuous as she. Without our gods, the most wicked, the most tyrannical, they would take that power for themselves.
I can't say I disagree with that.
But more than that, it would be a hollow existence. All mysteries forever unanswered. All purposes constructed from meaninglessness. No endings to bring closure. Only a wheel, turning without mercy, grinding our spirits to dust.
Thaos no longer looks at you as he speaks. The reflection of the ancient machine flickers and dances in his eyes. You underestimate people, passionate. If that's how it has to be, then so be it. Stoic. Your way comes at too great a cost. Benevolent. Better that than live a lie. Honest. You're right. That's no way to live. Rational. Attack. Dude, you've done so much heinous shit. And heinous shit is still occurring. Again, you've done all of this for no reason. Your way comes at too great a cost.
It is the least of all possible costs. Are you so dense as to think a faithless world would not be ridden with calamity?
Thaos scowls.
All I have seen, the millennia of experience, I will not be dissuaded from this course. This is the only way.
At least admit it. Admit to me that the gods are not true gods. I need to hear it from you. Then you must be stopped. You are blind to think yours is the only way. You are controlled by your own doubts. At least admit it. Admit to me that the gods are not true gods. I need to hear it from you.
You have not thought this through. There is no leaving this place for you. I allowed it once, but you have made it all too clear what a mistake my mercy was. With your soul and thousands of others, I will see this world purged of its suffering. Hear me, Woodica. Your servant calls for aid.
Thaos puts his hands out low to either side as though welcoming some unseen guest. He shuts his eyes and casts his face skyward. Oh. Oh.
Kroak 10!
What the I wish I could get a better angle. I wish I could angle it so I could see this creature's face. Because to me, that looks a bit like a death godlike. That looks a bit like a death godlike. However, if I remember correctly, I think death godlike are Berath's. I want to say they are Berath's children. Still, that is interesting. Okay, Sagani, you're going to run down here immediately. Because again, you ain't looking so hot.
How may I help?
You're gonna run down here.
I'm ready.
Can you try and intercept?
Hey there.
Ximena, you run over here.
What?
Jorance, you run back there. Okay. Okay.
Ready, Watcher.
There we go. Let's help out Puppy. You're the big threat here. I bring down the hammer on him. Bring down the hammer on him. You help out there. Okay. Okay, dickhead, but still, just seeing the hammer, that's satisfying. That is very satisfying. Okay. Can you do that? You. You know what, Alof? Because we think he's going to come back at some point. Palagina.
I'm ready.
If you would be so kind. Oh, he's back. He's back. Another one of these. I love that hammer. I love that hammer.
Hi?
I'm sorry, I saw that Ximena killed Thaos. Get in there. Get in there, girl. Get in there. At your feet rests the body of Thaos, hollow and dense wrinkles shaped by the silent shouldering of an eternal burden, now smoothed across his colour-drained face. His soul remains still for the moment, defenceless, its energy expended in defeat. It lies sprawled across his body like a death shroud.
That's the servant down, and the mistress still to go. A good start, worthy of being built upon.
After journeying for lifetimes, I can't imagine his failure, knowing it was all for nothing.
Sagani absently scratches Itumak's head.
In his own way, Thaos must have truly believed he was caring for the people of Eora, protecting them from themselves. A shame his soul won't have a chance to reflect on his errors before it enters the wheel.
He was good at serving his god, I give him that. But he should have picked a better one.
He spent his lives, more than any of us will ever know. For what? Binding the world to a lie. Could a man like that ever be redeemed?
Aloth shakes his head, looking down at Thaos in pity and wonder. He looks up at you. We will explore Thaos' soul. With a deep breath, you plunge into Thaos' soul, And where in Brackenbury it had been a maze of narrow corridors and dead ends, now it is expansive and borderless, its walls crumbling into heaps like the ruins of Engwyth as you pass through them. You travel for what seems like ages, rushing to a known destination, a memory you glimpsed once before. At last you see it, no more than a pinprick of light at the end of a long tunnel, expanding slowly at first, then quickly as you near. You come out in the room you are standing in now, and it is new and pristine and filled with people, thousands of them, all turned towards the great Ardra pillar and the machine that encases it. Thaos stands at the machine, and you are one with him now. You look out at the crowd, at faces of shriveled old men and cherub-cheeked little girls, at mothers bouncing infants to quiet them, and fathers clasping their children's restless hands and watching you with somber acceptance. A woman with tears in her eyes gives you a small nod. You turn back towards the machine, your breaths constricted beneath the weight of unwanted knowledge, preparing yourself to set out alone on a journey without end. You close your eyes and open them again to find the machine still in front of you, beckoning. You take your place in front of it and place your hands upon a large mechanical disc at the base of the great crystal column and speak a single word. Giant rings creep to life, building speed, setting arrays of carved draconic mouths aglow and sending tremors through the platform beneath you. The entire room shakes now with the force of the accelerating machine, all sound drowned out by its deep, deafening thrum. Brilliant tendrils of light arc outwards from the pillar in all directions, and you look over your shoulder to see them engulfing the crowd, burning them brightly like hot iron. One by one, the tendrils disappear, leaving ashen effigies where people once stood, many of them disintegrating into grey heaps under the stress of the tremors. You look above to the Ardra pillar, and a glowing spherical mass has begun to coalesce atop the column where the arcs converge. It grows and pulses, translucent and bulbous like some immense chrysalis suspended in slow rotation as though it were being spun from the arcs of light. When the last arc disappears, the spectral mass hangs for a moment, no longer rotating so bright you must shield your eyes with an outstretched hand, and it seems to you as though it is looking at you. You bow your head in acknowledgement, and look back up to see it melt into the pillar like warm candle wax. The pillar flares with a flash of light, bright as the sun itself, then fades to darkness. The machine slows down to an abrupt halt, and when the last echo of its grinding cogs has passed, the chamber is still, and you are alone. From all sides, reality begins to bleed in through the memory, and you find yourself in your own skin once more, looking down on Thaos' lifeless body. You sense a listlessness to Thaos' soul, an overwhelming fatigue that hinders its immediate escape and makes it vulnerable to manipulation. You feel as though your victory has given you some kind of hold over it, and you are able to do with it as you please. Return to the cycle. You will remember this, Thaos. Remember that no man can hide the truth forever, and all you've done was in futility. Your memory shall be your penance. Tear his soul apart. I do not envy you, Thaos. I, of all people, realize the sway memories can hold. It is time you were granted peace. Banish his soul to Brethi Aemon. Thaos ex Arcanon, there can be no forgiveness for your deeds, only justice. You shall escape judgment no longer. Destroy all memories contained within. Your memory makes you a slave to your own past. Perhaps it can't be undone, but it can be forgotten. It shall trouble neither of us any longer. Tear his soul apart. You cause me great suffering, Thaos. You do not deserve to exist. Ooh. I like that there are two different motivations for tear his soul apart. Are you doing this because you feel pity for him? Or are you doing it because you're pissed at him? Okay. Not banishing his soul to the soul prison. Absolutely not that. Ximena believes in freedom. I've said it before and I've said it again. I don't think... She would have to be under extreme circumstances. You know, something remarkable would have had to happen. That she'd be like, yeah, let's imprison someone. The only reason she has a guy in her prison is because she's trying to help out Eglanfath. Literally, as soon as she returns home to Cadnua after this, she's letting that guy go. Because she no longer needs to be on Eglanfath's good side. As soon as she's done with this, she's going to release the guy. The only reason she was holding him is because she wanted the elders of Twin Elms to think positively of her. That's it. Under normal circumstances, she would never consider confining anyone to a prison. And as I've said before, I don't think Ximena Ximena didn't feel anything for Thaos. She didn't feel like, oh, he's betrayed me, he's fucked me over, like, I'm gonna get him. Like, she was pretty meh on Thaos. That's not to say he was a bad villain, not at all. That's just Ximena's personal feelings. Like, at no point did she feel he had personally screwed her over. All of this happened due to her being in the wrong place at the wrong time. As such, I don't think she'd be like, yeah, let's imprison him. We're not just going to return his soul to the cycle. Because, again, he's going to remember. He's going to hit 16 again. Or, you know, whatever age his memories awaken. He's going to hit that and be like, that bitch killed me. And he's probably going to come looking for revenge. So allowing him to keep these memories of her besting him would be incredibly dumb. So that leaves tearing his soul apart and destroying all the memories. Again, why would we tear his soul apart? Ximena doesn't feel like she has any personal beef with him beyond, hey, I want you to fix what you broke. That's it. If she understands what the Delengarn sisters said with this truth, what was broken has been fixed. She shouldn't be in any danger after this. He's done it. He's fixed it. She would have no reason to tear his soul apart. So yeah, just, yo, go on your way. I'm not going to allow you to remember this because I don't want you coming after me in 16 years' time. But I have no real beef with you. Just go off. Go off and do your own thing. Your memory makes you a slave to your own past. Perhaps it can be undone, but it can be forgotten. It shall trouble neither of us any longer.
No! You cannot allow this. He will have no reminders. He will not remember the message we wrote on his fragmented bones and carved into his flesh. The lesson we burned into his soul.
Durant Skull. Yeah, I'm just checking that I clicked the right one. Yeah, that's the whole point. He won't grow up and try and track us down to get revenge.
You were kinder to that man than I would have been.
A questionable act. Without his memories, there will be nothing of Thaos left to appreciate your mercy.
Pallegina shakes her head, confused. He would either be appreciative or he would come after us for revenge. I'm not going to risk that. You return to the landscape of Thaos' memory, to the vast terrain of deceptions and crippling despair, and you can feel your agency in this world now, an ability to reshape the whims of your dominant will. You focus on a vision of pure emptiness, and your will becomes a swirling vortex around you, sweeping through the landscape and bearing away moments and lifetimes like some apocalyptic Beowulf that could tear away the essence of the planet itself. The storm builds until the very crust of the world peels from the fabric of the soul that anchored it, and it is borne off into the sky until it is too distant to observe. The last thing you see is a white void, boundless in all directions, unfettered by the shackles of experience and doubt. In the stillness that follows, a single word echoes through your mind, a word you spoke when you were one with Thaos in an ancient memory. You realise it is the word that activates the machine. There they go. Hello. Yeah, there they go. Thaos. He can finally rest. He can finally rest. He can finally move forwards. And apparently we can't loot him. Sadness. Wait, it would be here. Yes, get in there, girl. Get in there. I'm so happy with that. I'm so happy with that. Yes. Absolutely. Okay. Let's start with my least favourite.
Ah, the end of the road greets us at last. You fared well, Watcher. Better than any Watcher has right to. Seems you were a field in need of a flame's cleansing.
His eyes narrow.
Would that my own trial had produced such an outcome. I had figured myself for the field all this time. But you were the field, and I the darkness. A lesson neither of durance nor of Margarin. But with that trial's end, a new one begins. A god's trial. and I will stand in judgment without mercy.
Next up, I think I would speak to Pelagina. And that's not to say that I dislike Pelagina. Like, really, the only companion I disliked was Durance. It's just that of the remaining few, like, I really like these ones. I like these more than I like Pelagina. I still like her. But, yeah, you're next on my list.
So much for Thaos, then.
The membranes of Pelagina's golden eyes sweep out and retract as she gazes into the great machine.
Now you have a chance to set things right, back to the proper order of things. It will take the Deerwood generations to recover, but at least these souls will find their way back to the wheel, as it should be.
Sagani.
Never thought I'd see something like this in my travels. Lends a little perspective, doesn't it?
She shakes her head, marveling at the great chamber all around you.
All of these notions of who we are, what shapes us. None of it really matters, does it? And yet, if we could heal these broken families, I suppose our journey would be worth something.
Itumak licks at her fingers. What now? Thank you for traveling with me. It's time I settled it. Yeah, thank you for traveling with me.
I'd probably still be twiddling my thumbs by the side of the road if you hadn't come along. Thanks for bringing us this far.
She scratches Itumak's head. And then, Adia.
Thaos, he had hold of your soul from a long time back, seems like. You get what you needed from him?
I got an answer to an old question. I got justice. I am beyond those knees now. I got an answer to an old question.
Those can be hard to come by. I feel for people still looking for theirs. Easy to see what it means to them to have someone to look to for answers.
Adia grins.
You'll be feeling better soon, then. Good. That's real good. You got it figured out what you're going to do about all that?
He looks up at the machine. Yes.
Got a lot of people out there thinking they've been abandoned by their gods. There's not much that'll put the fear in you more than that. You can take my word for it. If it was in my power, and I know it's not, but if it was, I'd send every last one of those souls right back where they were supposed to go in the first place. So folks could get back to believing what they used to. And after what you've been through, though, I'm sure you got your own ideas. Better make it good.
He winks. And last but by no means least, Ximena's favorite.
Astounding. I always knew the Leaden Key stood for something big, but I didn't quite realize what I'd gotten myself into. And now, you're in the middle of something even bigger. The decision that will affect millions.
I love how the music kicks in at that moment. He looks at the massive Ardra pillar.
But even if you send the souls somewhere specific now, who knows what the next turn of the wheel will make of them? We can't really control what happens to them. Nor should we try. I had to see the monster Thaos had become to realize that.
He looks back at the pillar. Maybe so, I won't leave something this important. Dude, Ximena knows exactly what she's doing. Ximena knows exactly what she's doing. She's not just going to say, oh, fuck it, they go where they go. I won't leave something this important up to chance.
It's your decision, of course. And whatever you decide, I'm glad our paths crossed in Gilded Vale.
Oh, buddy. Buddy, so am I.
Hey there.
So am I. Let's see, there we go. Ximena leading the way. Ooh. Hello. As you approach the machine, the path underfoot suddenly changes to a cobbled road. If you hadn't experienced visions like this already in Tear Evron, you'd be tempted to believe that the machine had sucked you into it and deposited you in the middle of nowhere. The sun blazes overhead, and the rolling meadows and thick forests on either side of the road could be anywhere in the Deerwood. A shrill cackle turns your head. Dickhead. Standing next to you is a malnourished man clad in a threadbare loincloth and manacles. His entire body is stripped with lash marks, and there are scarred pits where his nose and ears should be. He stinks of stale sweat and unwashed filth. You notice someone wandering down the road, but the figure's back is to you. The scarred slave has your attention for now.
I know your ways, Watcher. Scheming and plotting, an offer of friendship in one hand and a dagger in the other.
His black eyes glitter.
You have labored at the pleasure of others. That shriveled hag in Hodrit House. Those well-bred thieves with their lordly pretensions. The wretched tribesmen playing out their fantasies of grandeur. And then you cowered and knelt before the gods themselves, begging one paltry favor and receiving riddles and visions in response. And now the gods give you orders and commands, even while you set out to fix what they cannot. Yet what have they offered you?
He sidles closer, a sly grin on his wrecked face. His stench is overwhelming. They offered us the means to stop Wodica and Thaos. That's enough for me. A suspicious grimace crosses Aloth's face. I get the feeling this is his way of giving you new orders on behalf of his own master. Be careful, Ximena. Given the breadth of the iron manacles, it's amazing that he can raise his bone-thin arms, but he does, and he points to the person walking the other way along the road.
The exiled queen is not an ungrateful patron.
You get a better look at the lone figure and realize that she's wearing robes, tattered and singed but fine nonetheless. On her head is a silhouette of a broken crown. She continues walking, her pace slow but determined.
Finish the work Thaos began. Strengthen Wodica with these souls and allow her to become the most powerful of all the gods, with you as her favored.
Skane's voice becomes a hungry whisper. I've been working against Wodica this whole time. Why would she thank me now after I've defeated her most loyal servant? What do you mean by her favored? Helping Wodica would mean that the secrets of the gods stays hidden. What do you mean by her favored? The recipient of Wodica's blessings. She has always had a place for mortals of particular merit. If you help her now, she will become the most powerful of all the gods, and you will be the one who made her so. Think of the lifetimes of rewards you could reap. Pallegina steps towards Skane. Equal parts madness and idiocy. Why would we form an alliance with the one who has opposed us at every turn? Skane turns his flinty eyes on Pallegina. So says your companion, who's been abandoned by her own country. Do you really trust her to make alliances for you? Well, compared to you, yes. I've been working against Wodica this whole time. Why would she thank me now, after I've defeated her most loyal servant? The ragged hole in Skane's face wrinkles with disgust. Loyal and weak. Thaos proved his inadequacy when he failed to anticipate you. A plan exposed is worse than none at all. But you have proven resourceful, equal to the schemes of the gods. Wodica has a long memory, Watcher, for both friends and foes, and she keeps her oaths. Helping Wodica would mean that the secrets of the gods stay hidden. He rubs his hands together, his black eyes gleaming. Safely hidden, yes, from the violent overlords who would cease to fear punishment in the next life, from the heavy-handed masters who would answer to no one. The world needs some schemes. Or are the souls of Kith so pure that you would snap the tenuous threads that bind society? Aloth snarls, and Thaos makes a better overlord? This one is the god of slaves. What would he have left if the world were unchained from his mistress's lies? Skane takes a bundle at his feet and hefts the burden onto his back. I've explained the alternative, Watcher. Continue as a pawn of the gods, or a partner of one. At the other end of the road, the figure stops. She turns her head just enough to look over her shoulder. Her face is mostly hidden, but one merciless eye peers at you from a cheek of rippled, scorched flesh. I won't help you. I'll consider what you've said. No, fuck off. I won't help you.
You say that now, but when you're standing in front of the machine, considering the lifetimes and the powers that await you, we'll see what you do.
He laughs. He continues down the road, and when the sun suddenly drops below the horizon, it plunges you into momentary darkness. You come to your senses in front of the machine. All these evils we've seen, going all the way back to the Saints' War, that was all Wodica. Imagine if she was stronger on top of it all. You know what, before I do anything, I want to see 11 months, 19 days, 24 hours, 54 minutes, 7 seconds. That is how long Ximena's journey has taken her. It's been almost a year since she was on that caravan, sick to her stomach, and she needed to go out and get some water. Yeah, I'm having a moment. Durance got knocked out the most. Most crits, Ximena. Most enemies defeated, Ximena. And most time in the party, Aloth, because of course it would be. Of course it would be. Oh, I like that. I like that. Also, just before we got steps to the wheel. Oh, yeah, that's what we got when we were speaking to Yavara. Okay, with that, let's do this. With your companions bearing witness, you step up to the place where Thaos once stood before his people long ago. The great machine lies in front of you, idle, ready. You have seen this machine and others like it in operation. You understand how it works. It is a device for directing souls. As a watcher, it would be a simple matter to influence their direction. Though as big as the machine is, it may be the last thing you ever do. Okay, one second. Yet no one wants to speak. I looked at my stats. Okay, yeah. Speak the command to activate the machine. There is a shrieking of stone grinding against stone as old cogs loosen and begin to turn. You have only moments before the souls will be sent into the Ardra vein. This will be your only chance at redirecting them. Send the souls back into the reincarnation circle, return the souls to the bodies they were intended for, entropically disintegrate the souls, ending their existence, distribute the essence to existing souls in the Deerwood to strengthen them, allow the souls to pass through the vein to Wodica, disperse the souls to an unknown location. I mean, we made a deal with Gallowayne. It would be incredibly dumb for us to go back on that. That would not end well. And I think, I still stand by this. I think Ximena would kind of view this as the best option. We wouldn't send them to some random location. We absolutely wouldn't give them to Wodica. We wouldn't disintegrate them. Returning the souls to the bodies they were intended for, what happens to all of the souls whose bodies were thrown in the harbour? What happens with the wits? What happens to the parents who killed their Hollowborn children, and now they see, oh, my neighbour, their Hollowborn is now normal. Why didn't I just wait? God damn. If we allow the souls to go back into the reincarnation cycle, that would be natural, but again, the Deerwood has suffered. The Deerwood is a broken country, and we live here. We don't want it to be a broken country. We need to patch them up. We need to ensure that they are going to get through this, and we do that by strengthening them. You close your eye again. I'm just making sure I did that. Okay. You close your eyes and expand your perception outward, taking in the immense totality of the tens of thousands of souls orbiting the chamber. Your grasp on the souls is tenuous. You find yourselves fighting to keep them all within your influence, and you can feel them slipping away from you as the machine gains speed. A brief moment comes when it feels as though you hold all of them at once, and their force is so great it feels as though they will tear you apart. In that moment, you dedicate your entire being to bending their orbit, channeling their flow in a new direction.
At your command, the ancient device became your instrument, spinning to life with deafening resonance and gathering up the swirling essence like thread on a great spindle. There, in the pale, pulsing glow of the machine that set you on this path long ago, you summoned all your strength, focusing on your objective and blocking out all else. With a single concussive blast that rocked the chamber and sent you tumbling to the ground, you freed the souls from their stasis. Exhausted, your consciousness slipping away, your last sight was of the machine, dark and dormant. Then your eyes closed, and sleep welcomed you at long last. After coming to and searching for some time, you discovered the route Thaos used to enter Sun and Shadow, and embarked on a long and arduous ascent back to the surface. You emerged in Ter Evron after days of tunneling through the rubble Thaos had left behind, and when you stepped into the daylight, you were faced with a different Deerwood than the one you had left. At your direction, the essence gathered in Sun and Shadow was sent across Deerwood to meld with and galvanize the souls of its people. In the days that followed,
Deerwoodans, confronting adversity and expecting to be at the mercy of their own weakness, instead found strength and the will to persevere. The aggrieved found themselves able to carry on after their losses. The desperate found new reasons to hope. And the new reasons to hope were many, for Widewind's legacy had come to an end after 15 years. Hollow births ceased in the Deerwood, and a country that only days ago had seemed on the brink of collapse was suddenly on the path to a recovery, a fitter, more resilient country in the preferred image of the god of the hunt. Lord Radric's zeal had brought him back to life once, but it would not do so again. Radric's destruction at your hands spelled the end of his suffocating rule over Gilded Vale and the surrounding area. In his absence, the village prospered, becoming a popular destination for new settlers anxious to leave Defiance Bay after the riots. Without a nearby ruler, it also grew more wild, with many settlers moving on as soon as they'd arrived, turned off by lawlessness that was excessive even by Deerwooden standards. Nevertheless, despite the challenges of living there, Gilded Vale had survived, and would continue to survive for the foreseeable future. Following the assassinations of Duke Avar Wolfgren and Lady Webb, Defiance Bay was thrown into political upheaval. In the ensuing weeks, the streets had become the domain of looters and blackguards. Few dared to step outside their own doors alone or unarmed. But order would soon come from an unexpected source. House Dominel, realizing that stability was good for business, brought the city's criminal elements in line through a systematic campaign of fear and intimidation. Capitalizing on the mutual antipathy of the Dozens and the Knights of the Crucible, House Dominel continued to manipulate both groups from the shadows, ensuring their decline and eventually supplanting their authority in Defiance Bay. Defiance Bay was served well by the Dominel's rise. Their subtle political maneuvers and lack of legal oversight allowed them to broker a number of favorable trade deals, rekindling the city's economy. Although their cautious approach in the legacy's aftermath had perhaps denied them broad notoriety outside of Defiance Bay, House Dominel's wealth and influence both continued to grow unchecked. The destruction of the machine atop Ter Noaneth spelled the end of the reanimated corpses in Heritage Hill. Though at first few were willing to venture into the abandoned district, it was soon cleaned out and rebuilt. The district's horrors still fresh in people's minds, it would be some time before it was fully repopulated. But eventually the lure of cheap prime land would all but erase the memory. The Duke's assassination at the apparent hands of an animancer had caused catastrophic rioting in the streets of Defiance Bay. But those who had escaped the melee and the palace hearings remembered the testimonies of the strange guest who had shown up that day and absolved animancy, implicating the Leaden Key instead. The rumor spread quickly, and soon the popular belief was that the assassin had been a Leaden Key spy. When the legacy had lifted, people came to see it not as a sign that the riots had been according to the god's wishes, as Thaos had hoped, but as a confirmation that animancy had never been the source of the problem in the first place. Deerwoodans instead convinced themselves that the riots had somehow purged Defiance Bay of Leaden Key spies, and that the end of Widewind's legacy was their well-deserved reward. The rage against animancers was quickly forgotten, and those who had survived were permitted to return to Brackenberry Sanitarium and rebuild it so they might resume their studies. Abidon was restored but tempered, and the compromise that he and Andra sought played out in the Deerwood too. Skilled labor saw a revival in the Deerwood, and the country's architects, engineers, and masons transformed the broken nation into a modern marvel. Defiance Bay was rebuilt into a grand capital, and the roads that connected the country were paved into broad highways. On the other hand, expeditions to Engwithan ruins steadily declined, and the Deerwood found a more stable, peaceful relationship with Eir Glanfath. With the Eyeless defeated, Stalwart redoubled its efforts to unlock the mysteries of Durgan Steel and create new marvels upon the White Forge. However, the villagers also realized that they would never achieve their ambitions on their own. To that end, they set aside their grievances and welcomed newcomers, Deerwooden and Raedsaren alike, to their town. Stalwart grew not only as a hub for mining and metalworking, but also as a trading outpost, which Durgan's battery stood ready to protect. With this newfound prosperity came a generation of peace. The Flames That Whisper clan found a cautious peace with Stalwart, particularly once the villagers heard of the aid the ogres had offered against the Eyeless. The clan moved back into the Russet Wood, and as Stalwart grew in prestige, the villagers formed a tighter alliance with their ogre neighbors. Within a generation, ogre traders visited Stalwart, and village hunters were welcome in the Russet Wood. Harmka's death had brought the Devil of Carrick little satisfaction. In time, her taste for vengeance soured. What replaced it was a hunger to feel something, anything, new. Summer had thinned the snowpack twice over when she felt the joint at her elbow first begin to stiffen. She turned her back on the hopes of animancy and civilization and walked east. She pushed through the mountains, past Raedsaren, and into the broad plains of Ishamiddle. She had forgotten what it was like to simply journey, no goal or destination in mind. Though she felt nothing more than the steady thump of her feet on the road, the endless horizons and grassy meadows were new to her. She measured her time in the gradual rusting of her body and was satisfied. Her movements slowed, but so did the world around her. Waist-high grasses undulated and tacked in the wind, as gradual as the tides. Sparrows and blackjays made steady pilgrimages across the sky, each flap of their wings a solemn salute. She could hardly move when she found something she had never seen before, the ocean. With the last of her strength, she pulled herself beneath the water, content at last to feel the movement of currents and the constant caress of the waves. Zawa came to believe that the Dakan had survived through him. He returned to Ishamiddle, where he united a number of small, vulnerable tribes under the beliefs of his people. He called them Takanakin, kin of Dakan, and under his tutelage, they became strong enough to resist would-be conquerors. Zawa taught his secrets not to one chosen person, but to all, that the line of knowledge might never be broken. Free from the burden of her memory, Maneha soon left the gift-bearers and resumed adventuring. Now that she had a taste for the world, she wanted to experience it anew. Maneha rediscovered her zest for battle, extravagance, and romance. She kept her gaze on the horizon, looking from one journey to another more distant, from the lover in her arms to another more fervent. Hers was a life of excitement, violence, and passion. She moved too quickly for regret to catch up with her, and she hoped only that she might outpace it in the next life as well. The fortress of Cadnua emerged as a bastion of security in the midst of an untamed land, becoming the envy of every thane and earl in Deerwood. Legend grew over time of its impregnability, and stories of formidable invaders easily scattered by the keep's defenses became popular around the hearths of Deerwoodinians. Likewise, it also became a beacon to travelers, merchants, and visiting dignitaries alike. Reputed as the finest fortress in all Deerwood, people would journey from near and distant lands alike to experience its fabled hospitality and grandeur. After the death of the master below, a strange quiet fell over the endless paths of Adnua. The attacks on the fortress above ceased, Adnua's silent titan the closest remaining thing to a master in its musty, forgotten passages. Pallegina had gone against the Duke's Bell's orders by inventing a new trade arrangement with the Anamenfoth to accommodate the recovering Deerwooden market. With the Deerwood's people strengthened by the Watcher's gift of souls, the Valian republics found themselves struggling to keep up with their new competitors. For her outrageous insubordination and audacity, Pallegina was banished from the republics for several years. After the southern forest of Erglanfoth opened to both the republics and the Deerwood, the Valians found that the combined efforts of all three nations had created a robust trade network. The Duchessa of Biajepi granted Pallegina a pardon for her foresight, though it took many years for her to regain the trust of her superiors and brothers in the Order. Haravius took his leave of the party and, after his first bath in years, returned to his nomadic lifestyle. With his homesickness expunged, he found renewed joy and tranquility in his wandering survey of the wilderness. For the first time in his life, he ventured beyond sight of the mountains of Glonfath. During his travels, he penned numerous journals and sketches detailing his travels through frozen tundra, searing desert, and tropical forests. Wherever he went, Haravius left behind stories of the Autumn Druid, a temperamental, one-eyed wise man of the forest, known to bring food to lost travelers and unusual advice to anyone willing to ask him a question. Adair chose not to return home to Gilded Vale. Through a number of quiet inquiries, he soon found his way into the underground organization of Aethasians known as the Night Market. Ironically, in learning that the gods had been fabricated, Adair found his faith in Aethus renewed, and that his god was neither alive nor truly a god had become irrelevant. He rose quickly through the ranks of the Night Market for his optimism and for his bold leadership, his ultimate goal to make the Dyrwood a place that would welcome followers of the Shining God once again. When the dust settled in Sun and Shadow, Aloth looked upon the remains of Thaos Ixarchanon, his former master. He saw where the Grand Master had gone wrong and what would be required to undo the harm Thaos had wrought. With a flick of his wrist, he burned Thaos's robe, headdress, and every other symbol of the man's power. Never again, he vowed, should Kith live in fear and blind obedience to an authority they did not understand. Armed with the knowledge and courage he had gained on his journeys with the Watcher, he set out on the long and lonely task of dismantling the Leaden Key. With both their aims fulfilled, Kanarua bid the Watcher farewell and sailed back to his beloved Rawatai. There, he reported on his findings to the Lore College. Kana spoke of the Engwithan people, describing both their vile experiments and their inspiring accomplishments. He spoke too of the destruction of the tablet by the Leaden Key, and the group's efforts to erase the Engwithan legacy from the world. Both inspiration and cautionary tales, he said, could be found in the world beyond Rawatai's borders. Kana urged his people to continue to pursue knowledge abroad so that the lessons found there might benefit Tekoa. Kana's inability to prove his theory of Engwithan influence diminished his academic standing, but his passion drew much interest from those less concerned with degrees. Kana swiftly became an influential figure in the move toward a more collaborative approach to expansion on the northern continent. In his personal life, he came to enjoy the reputation of an affable eccentric, willing to share grand and impossible secrets, along with a drink and a song. With Thaos defeated and the souls released from Sun and Shadow, healthy children were born once again in the Dyrwood. The grieving mother sought a place where she might do penance for the birthing bell. She returned to Deerford, where, to the astonishment of the villagers, she delivered the first healthy child in over a decade. She remained there, and with each new birth, she saw a measure of hope restored to the Dyrwood and a measure of grace for her own troubled past. Durrance used Magrin's strength only until Thaos had been cast from the world, and then swore off her influence entirely. Regret came to weigh heavily on his mind, and a man who had never previously lacked for words or opinions came to embrace silence and contemplation. He continued to wander, penniless and destitute, searching now not for the reason for his goddess's silence, but for a mechanism for revenge. The charred robes he continued to wear as a reminder that he had been burned by his goddess, and not just by the flames of the Godhammer. After 5 years of searching for Persak, Sagani's 4-month journey home felt longer still. The Dyrwood, Glonfath, the Valian republics became places on a map, endless expanses of green between her and Nasitok. Her homecoming was celebrated by all of Masuk, yet it was the reunion with Kalu and their children that truly brought her joy. She relinquished her role in the long hunts, and ever after, she and Itumak spent their days working in the village and their nights at her hearth. she watched her own children and their children grow and thrive. When she finally passed, she lay surrounded by the affection and tears of 5 generations. For you, the death of Thaos brought an end to your waking visions and a silence to the whispers of the past. In their absence, you were able to sleep. The questions of a distant lifetime ceased to trouble your soul. All that remained was what to make of the answer. But at the moment, there was little to be done, and the matter would have to wait. A long journey loomed ahead.
And there we go. That was Pillars of Eternity. Oh my goodness. Oh my, so we're finishing on episode 244, if my math is correct there. Flipping heck, what a journey. What a journey. That, I love that. I absolutely love that. This was the perfect introduction to CRPGs. I believe I said this at the start of the Let's Play. I've always avoided, you know, the kind of isometric CRPG. I don't know what it is, but I've always thought to myself, they're too difficult. I've taken one look at them and gone, they're too difficult, they're too difficult. Even though, like, there are some that I really want to play, like Tyranny, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I own Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. And I love the setting they are in. You know, I'm a big tabletop RPG player, so, you know, I love the world of Faerun, but I've never played Baldur's Gate 1 or 2 because I've always kind of thought to myself, you know, it's too complicated. You'll never understand it, Callista, you'll never understand it. And I'm so glad that I decided to give Pillars of Eternity a shot. Because, you know, it's really bolstered my confidence. I'm like, no, it's not too difficult. You can figure shit out. This was great. This was great. Both as an introduction to isometric CRPGs, but also just the world of Aora. This was, it hit so many things for me. It really did. After watching so many series that were dark fantasy, and they've gotten lighter and lighter as years have gone by, to be in a dark fantasy setting that was gritty and it felt kind of depressing, it was wonderful. That's such an odd compliment. It was depressing as fuck. I loved it. But it's true, that's how I feel. This was the world of Aora. It's captured my imagination. I'm so looking forward to playing Deadfire. I'm so intrigued to see where Ximena's story ends up. And speaking of Ximena, the ending slides we got, I'm kind of impressed. Like, Ximena has left the Deerwood in quite a good position. I did not expect that. When I started the LP, when I first created Ximena, you know, she is a selfish character. I created her because, to be blunt, as much as I enjoy playing cinnamon rolls who are just, I just want to make friends and I believe that everyone is truly good, the power of friendship. Whilst I do enjoy those characters, I love the bastards who are just like, I'm a shanker bitch. It's like, okay, you. Like, these characters, you know, on paper, I'm sure most people would go, oh no, these characters are terrible. I love them because I enjoy examining, okay, well, what in your past made you this way? Were you just born like this? Or did you have dick-headedness thrust upon you? Like, I need to know. Like, I fully expected going into this that Ximena's selfish nature would cause her to fuck up the country. And instead, like, the thing with the Dominells taking good care of Defiance Bay. Defiance Bay is thriving under the leadership of this crime syndicate. I'm like, oh my god, Ximena, you did good work. You did good work. And also you went on an emotional journey. You're trying to be less selfish. We'll see if she does anything in the, I believe is it like 5 years in between Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2? Like, I can look into that. But however long it's been, you know, I'll have to come up with what Ximena has been doing in that time. I'm so looking forward. I'm so looking forward to Pillars of Eternity 2. Oh yes. Just yes. I think that's my, you know, what did you think about Pillars of Eternity 1, Callista? Just yes. Just yes, in its purest form. This was great. This was great. I hope you enjoyed the LP as much as I did playing through it. I hope you all enjoyed Ximena's story and that you're looking forward to seeing it continue with Pillars of Eternity 2. I am thinking I might take a wee bit of a break, just a week to, kind of decompress, sit with the story, that kind of thing, and also I can build up a backlog of Deadfire videos in that week off. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Pillars of Eternity 2. I'm really looking forward to that, and as I said, hopefully you are too. So until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. A special thanks to my channel members such as SM2K, Christopher K. Davies, CGG, The Named User, and Kevin Bicknell. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.